Welcome to Jaztime. Jaztime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at Jaztime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Day-Date 40 in platinum, reference 228236, with an ice blue Baguette diamond dial. I will tell you a little bit about the history of the Day-Date, then tell you about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Day-Dates, then tell you about the case, bezel, dial, bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history. Now the Day-Date came in the early 50s, 1950s, around 1952 or so, about 7 years or so after the advent of the Datejust. Now, Rolex was formed in 1905. They came about in then the Day-Date, which is, by the way, their most complicated dress watch, or I should say one of their most complicated dress watches, came out around 50 years later in the early 50s. Now, since then, it's had many different variations. Most of them have been in size 36, and it is also known as the President watch. President being the highest level that one can achieve, and therefore the President, the Day-Date is also the highest dress watch that Rolex is making, most complicated, I should say, and therefore also known as a President. And it's also been worn by many presidents, as you can imagine, hence the name President. Okay, all right, so let's start talking about where does this watch, that's a little bit of history. And now let's talk, where does this watch stand in the lineup? Well, the Day-Date 40 is called the date and the date because it has both the day, Monday through Sunday, and the date 1 through 31 at the 3 o'clock position. And it was up till mid 2015 or so, or actually earlier than that, around 2010 or so, the Day-Date President was always in size 36. So that had been for like more than 50 years in size 36. It was just recently around, and maybe it was even earlier than that, maybe 2008 or something like that, Rolex first released the Day-Date 41. And that had like a 10-year run, and then it turned into the Day-Date 40, which is what you see now, this reference number. So the larger President has not been around that long. It's been around for approximately 20 years, whereas the 36 President has been around for 70 years. Okay, now with that said, now what you see in front of you is a platinum version of the Day-Date with a fluted bezel. That also is new. The platinum Day-Date has been around for quite some time, but it's always been with a domed bezel. It's only recently, within the last few years, I want to say like 21 or 22, that Rolex has made the platinum with a fluted bezel, and that's what you see here. And it's I think they did, I'm not sure exactly why they never made it with a fluted bezel. I suspect it might have been a production issue. They couldn't make the platinum with this type of bezel, but at any rate, they didn't do it before, and now they do it. So, and as you can see, it's quite a stunning way to present the Day-Date. One of the ways that you can really recognize that this watch is also, by the way, in platinum, is that it uses this ice blue baguette, which I'll get to in just a moment. Okay, now where this watch stands in the lineup, well, the Day-Date is offered in many materials: yellow gold, white gold, rose gold, and in platinum. Platinum is the most expensive of all of them, and so that makes this one the top of the line. Now there is one that can make this a little bit more expensive, and that's by putting a different style bezel on it. They have a round diamond bezel and even a baguette bezel. The bezels add quite a bit of money to it. So it's not the highest, but it is definitely up there. That's where it stands in the lineup, okay? All right, now let's start talking about the watch itself, starting with the case. The case is platinum, all platinum. Now, Rolex has its own gold foundries where they mix the platinum and they ensure that it has the perfect mix every time. And of course, Rolex uses the highest quality platinum and very pure platinum. And the case itself is 40 millimeters. Now the old cases, called the Day-Date 2s, were actually 41 millimeters, and they were thicker, a little bit more clumsy looking. The Day-Date that you see in front of you is the refined version, and it is 40 millimeters, not 41. I don't really think that makes much difference in terms of size. 1 millimeter is not really you can't really tell, but it does look better at this slimmed down size 40. Okay, now that's the case. Let's move on to the bezel. As I told you, the Day-Date in platinum was only recently were able to have a fluted bezel and platinum combination. Before that, it was all domed bezel, and they actually got rid of the dome bezel. I'm glad, because the dome bezel, to be honest, did not look that good. It made the watch look a little bit just a little bit dull or a little bit boring. But with the fluted bezel, which it definitely is a mark of distinction, it looks much better. And if you look at the bezel itself, you can see it has these sort of serrated edges. It makes it really makes the watch stand out. All right, let's move on to the dial here. Now, this is what is really special about the dial, is that the dial is an ice blue dial. It has it's not dark blue, it's not any other, but it's ice blue. It looks like like an ice blue dial, and it has a baguette diamond markers that look, at first you cannot even tell that they're diamond baguette markers, but then at closer look you can tell that it has, these are not just regular index markers, they're actually baguette diamonds, which, if you ask me, look really awesome. Because for me, I'm not in love with diamonds on a man. This is a man's watch. But if you put it as baguettes, it actually does not look like diamonds, even though they are using very precious diamonds. And of course, Rolex is using only the best diamonds with the best gem setters, internally flawless decolor, perfect stones, and that, of course, is what you would expect from the top maker of watches. So basically, to recap this whole thing about the dial, basically, if you see an ice blue dial, it means that the watch is platinum. They don't use this ice blue dial in any other material other than platinum. That's why it's so special. Okay, so let's move on to the bracelet. Now, the bracelet, you only have one option. It's a president bracelet. It's this 3 semicircular links across, high polish down the center and brush down the sides, and it has a hidden clasp. It just looks your classic president. It's an awesome looking bracelet. Let's move on to the movement now. The movement is a 3255 caliber movement, which is different from the old one, which I believe was 3155. It's precise to plus minus 2 seconds a day, and it has a power reserve of 70 hours. Excellent movement, beautiful, and not much else to say because you can't see it anyways. So finally, let's try this watch on and give you my thoughts. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and you can see 40 millimeters definitely does not look small on me. In fact, it looks perfect on me. So I would recommend this for anyone who has a wrist size of larger than, let's say, 6.5 inches. And if you have a wrist size smaller than that, probably you should wear 36, which they make many very nice variations, and even this variation here. But if you have larger than 6.5 inch, I would even say 7 inch, unless you really like to have larger watches. So anyone with a 7-inch wrist or smaller could probably go with a smaller watch. But if you happen to have a larger wrist than 7 inch, then this 40 millimeter would be a great fit for you. Now, what are my thoughts about it? Well, I love the Day-Date. It's great. It's a fantastic watch. It has great presence. It's named the president for a reason, not the vice president or the manager or the, something else, the worker. It's the president. It's the top of the line that Rolex has to offer, and it looks it, it feels it, and it's every bit the part. So look, if you want to buy this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jaztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jaztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jaztime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.